All right, my friends, you may be asking me the question: how do I feel about alligator pork sausage mixed in with, you know, the old sauerkraut, the German stuff? So I'm gonna tell you, fixing to tell you here in a minute. In all seriousness, I did add some uh, what I want to call them different seasonings. And the one thing I did not do that I normally do that I kind of substituted with was, excuse me, there's a fella over here that just pulled in with a fifth wheel, and he went out to do a grocery run, and now his diesel truck's over here making noise. But it's I'm okay with that. He paid too. So where was I? Oh yeah. So normally I would add some frozen seasoning mix to the recipe, and I just didn't get a chance to do that. So what I did was I decided, I want to make up my own little recipe on the fly. Have not tasted this yet. I'm 100%, being truthful on this. Um, I wanted to add a splash of cooking wine in there. I found it earlier. Somehow I misplaced where it was located. And then I also add like frozen seasoning mix, like Pick Sweet's really good brand for that. Usually around $2. You can mix some of that stuff in there. I didn't do that today, but what I did do was add some red beans and rice, and I threw in the beer and stuff like that. So let's take the first bite together. See if this is okay. I mean, when you're this damn hungry, everything probably tastes pretty good. So I'm going to tell you my honest opinion. It's not bad. Hold on one second. Ooh, got a little spiciness right there in my throat. I think that gator's got a little more bite than I was planning on. But plus the Margaret Holmes red beans and rice. Excuse me, red beans and rice can be a little bit spicy. So I really wish I could have added some Holland House white cooking one to it. But I'm not going to lie, it's pretty damn good. It's, when you have expectations for a certain taste, and you get something different, you're kind of disappointed. But once you learn to accept, what the offering is in front of you, sometimes it's not too bad. You know, not eating a whole lot of, lately, so I'm gonna deal with it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna ask you this question: what is your favorite camp meal? I got food falling all over out of my mouth. Too damn, my brain's thinking faster than my lips are chewing. But what's your favorite camp meal? Do you have anything like particular? I know Virginia Bushcrafter. He's been following my channel pretty well here lately. I appreciate that. He seems like a pretty cool dude. So if he wants to share a cooking meal with me, I'm open for that. Um, I used to live down there in that general vicinity, like probably within an hour of where he lives. And yeah, a lot of beautiful country. He seems pretty smart, pretty wise to the outdoors. So he even commented on a video recently saying that where I was, excuse me, the water, even though it was tidal water, it could be purified and filtered and utilized. So I appreciate that. You run across few men of wisdom in your lifetime. So the best thing I can tell you is I'm looking at a squirrel right now. The one thing I noticed here today, I know I said squirrel and now I'm on a different tangent, switch topics, but the squirrels in Milton, Florida have very fluffy tails. Very few have thin tails up here. Oh, excuse me. Very few squirrels in Milton have thin tails. Up here, most of them are thin-tailed. I don't know what the deal is there, but I don't know. Kind of curious. But yeah, here we are. Just trying to enjoy nature. Man, I feel so bad because inevitably I'm going to have food go to waste. I don't like doing that because not only from a financial, aspect, but when people need it. And like I have 3 crab stuffed shell, crab stuffing in the shell in there. That would be really good. And I really had planned to cook that yesterday. And with a pork chop I have in there, that's 30 seasoned. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to eat all this. But pretty pissed. But you may be asking, why did I not cook it yesterday? Well, this is embarrassing. It was getting late. Could not find my ignition source or sources, which I have multiple in there. So I asked a neighboring camper if they had anything they could help me out with, temporarily. Literally, I just wanted to ignite the citronella candle. If I could get that ignited, I knew I was okay because I could use a paper towel or something like that to transfer the fire to the fire pit. Well, he gave me a lighter. Love the guy. Really nice guy. Very nice guy. I had two strikes on his big lighter, and there was no more. It started to ignite the citronella candle. Just didn't work. I tried another ignition attempt. Everything after that, there was no more butane or whatever's in those lighters. So I was like, all right, I feel you. I feel you means like, hey, I feel you. I'm about to starve tonight. So that's pretty much what I did. Got up today. Drove around. Took care. I put more fuel. I ran the van for the first time all night long since about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. You hear the wildlife out there? I don't know what that is, cicadas or something, but yeah, I drove around. Baker's a cool place, but a weird place, Thank on this food feels so good. I'm sorry if I interrupt my dialogue. Just take a food bite or two, but damn, it feels so good. But I end up basically, I'm looking at a squirrel. Not a very big tail. But let me turn this way so I can relax. My friend Nick at Multi-Hunter 24/7 commented, he said, that looks like a pretty damn comfortable chair. And you know what? It is when I lean back and relax. So that's what I'm going to do. Lean back, relax, chit chat with you guys. But so eventually I did a couple things. I think I got one bag of ice. Decided to go on a road trip. I went back to oh my God, I got the hiccups. Excuse me. Hold on. I went back to Berrydale Forestry Camp. Sorry, it is what it is. I'm out here in the jungle. Because I found out some more information about the Berrydale Forestry Camp. It was really cool. I actually filmed a video there today. I thought it was okay, not great. And afterwards, I found out that there was more information I did not know about. And I actually made an error in my original video. Let's go this way. Let's try and get out of the sun. Hold on, my friends. This heat is going to kill my phone. So yeah, anyway, so I went to the Berrydale Forestry Camp. Try not to tip my hand too much, but I did what I thought was a pretty good video. Then I realized afterwards it was lacking some information I did not know prior, despite my research, previously. So I'm going to try to include that. At one point in time in my video, I actually erred and reversed the data on casualties or survivors from that incident out there. Not trying to tell you too much, but I'm trying to tell you a little bit. But yeah, it was pretty eye-awakening when I did the research, and I feel like we could still utilize that area, whether it could be like any type of facility. Like when I tell you, it could resume as a ICE detention center or anything like that, or it could be so many things. But when I did that video, and I actually, the funniest thing, when I did that video, I estimated there was probably like 6 buildings in the compound. And when I left, after I quit filming, I looked and I estimated there was about 8. So they're pretty good sized buildings. So there could be a lot done out there. I even thought about this, like, I don't know if the state of Florida is willing to sell it privately or not, but for whatever reason they have neglected to rehab the facility or whatever, revive the facility, into some functional state. Everything, what I could see, the exterior walls and for the most part, what I could see from the roof, the roofs are pretty well intact. So I don't think it would take that much to, rehab that facility. Even if they found a way to, this was my thought, think about this, even if they remove the front of the facility, like the check-in gate and all that, or, but if they could remove the front, keep the appearance, with the, the prison aesthetics, that would be a pretty badass, like, flea market type thing. That's just my thought. Part of it could be indoors, part of it could be outdoors. That's my thoughts, but tell me what you think. You'll probably appreciate this video more after you've seen, my other video that I got to redo. So that's, could be, a while, depending on what the weather is doing next week. But I definitely have to do a redo on my previous video. But I appreciate you folks. Y'all have a great weekend and a great week, great month. We're dipping into, listen to these critters out here wishing me a happy birthday. I love me some critters. Daggone it. Yeah. Happy August coming up, my friends. Hopefully it's a hurricane proof. Peace out, my friends. Let nature and hurricanes soothe your soul.